What up, YouTube, man? It's your boy, I'm back, man, with another reaction. We got the feds want with Trenches News to testify against Oblock and Murd3r Rico case. Hey, man, I don't really know what this about. I've seen him make like 3-4 videos that look similar to this, but we finna see what this talking about.
Is Trenches News gonna be the person that stamped FBG duck case?
He
Is
put
he gonna be
that
the
man
person that
face
get
on
those
the
guys
camera.
arrested? Blah, 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 blah. That's what the feds are saying happened to Duck. And Trenches News' name came up in the paperwork. I got some new information about Trenches. He actually came back to the internet and said his piece. You know, he said he wasn't really telling. It is what the fuck it is, you know. And I understand some of what.
Still didn't look at that. That's my fault. I should have did my research. I should have watched that video. I should have watched that
some
video.
of it I didn't understand.
He made like 2 or 3 videos.
It said the feds want Trenches News to. But some of it I didn't understand. But when I looked in the paperwork, it said the feds want Trenches News to testify. So we gonna talk about that. Hit the like button. We need about 5,000 likes on this video. I always say that, but I think this is different. We gotta get about 5,000 likes on this video so we can get this to the top. It's a lot of rumors about Trenches News. He even came to the internet and did videos, but you know, his credibility is a little at this moment right now. I got some info right now. Some real info, not the fake info to try to get viral. I got the real info. I'm actually
shout out Truth Teller, man.
I be speaking to people that's close to this situation. So we finna talk about this. Do the feds really want Trenches News to testify? Hit the like button. When you do that, it helps with the algorithms. A lot of people be able to see it. It puts some fake videos down and the real videos to the top. And I think 5,000 likes will help this video. The feds want Trenches News to testify against Oblock that, you know, the information that he gave them, kind of like how the structure of the gangs is. Who is the leaders of Oblock? You know, how was it when you selling drugs out there? Who is the person collecting money? Who is the top leaders in Oblock? You know, that's kind of some of the information that Trenches News gave the feds. A lot of people been talking about this. You know, Trenches News kind of went to the internet and said, man, look, y'all ass going crazy, all kind of wild shit like that. He gave some information to the feds is what he's saying. He spoke about Kenny Mack because he was his cellmate. He also said the feds talked to a lot of people. I did that video already. And he not lying, the feds talk to a lot of people. It's people who ain't came to the internet and said that they talked to the FBI. You know, when Duck lost his life, the feds spoke to, I'm talking about everybody. I'm talking about people close to Duck, baby mamas of the enemies and Duck and all kind of shit. I'm talking about even Uber drivers might have been interviewed off this fed case.
They be going hard.
Trenches News, this is the story I'm hearing on the street, so I can't put this in the paperwork. Besides the other shit in the paperwork, but this is what I'm hearing. You know, somebody close to Trenches News, I'm not going to say who it is because I'm not trying to expose nobody. You know, somebody kind of told me, not just this person, but I've been hearing this a lot, that, you know, Trenches News had nothing to do with this case. Trenches News is not a suspect. Trenches News is not a person who the feds even thought about talking to. You got to remember, you know, this is a lot of young people involved in this case. I don't think nobody in this case, on Duck case, is older than 31, 32. So this really had nothing to do with Trenches News. I don't think the feds knew who he was, and that's what people told me. I was told Trenches News volunteered this information. You know, he went on down and was interviewed by the FBI.
Oh, I was about to say he's a confident. Say that nigga's an informant right there.
Who brokered this deal for money? Now, I don't want to dirty up his name because he spoke and said he didn't. I'm just here to give you the news that I hear. When your name in paperwork, bro, you got to understand people going to do videos about that, especially if you're not coming out saying what really happened. You know, he kind of spoke on what happened, but, you know, his narrative kind of sounded like how you sound when you told on somebody, you know? He kind of pushed that off. He put it on other situations and shit like that. I don't think he told on Oblock, me personally. I think he just gave information, you know, in my opinion. I don't
what
know
is the difference?
It was used to, you know, try to get anybody locked up, but I think he knew the inner workings of Oblock, some of the inner workings of FBG, and he probably knew he can make some money off this shit because the feds paid him. How much money did the feds pay him? I'm not sure, but I was told it had to be about $1,000. If not more than that.
That ain't nothing.
I don't want to make up numbers and shit on this shit.
Hey, I
was told that when you look at the paperwork,
that was only needed was 1,000 to tell. I thought it was gonna be like more than that. I thought they said like 100K or something.
Nah. So I don't want to make up numbers and shit on this shit. but I was told that when you look at the paperwork, out of all the people who cooperated in this case, Trenches News is the only one who was paid. Nobody else was paid. Everybody else was just part of the case, knew somebody who knew somebody in the feds put that pressure on him.
Yeah.
Trenches News didn't get pressure put on him.
Oh, he didn't?
He actually was paid for his information, which looks like he volunteered. When the feds is giving people information, when the feds is paying people for information, they volunteer.
I was thinking it was like they kind of pressuring him or something, and then they like, all right, look, well, you give you $1,000, you tell me. That type shit. That's what I was thinking. But he said, nah, they wasn't pressuring. He just volunteered.
Feds is giving people information. When the feds is paying people for information, they volunteers. They weren't really in like the feds' sites or anything like that. They knew nothing about Trenches News. What I was told. And I was told Trenches News brokered that to make money off of this shit. You gotta remember, Trenches News was once cool with FBG Duck. He was once cool with the whole FBG crew. He was once cool with Oblock. He used to live in Oblock. He's a black disciple, according to what, that paperwork says.
Yeah, I just read that.
So he knew both sides. Now, the fact that, he in the middle of this shit, is very crazy. Because he had problems with FBG, too. And then we seen, problems with, Cash, FBG Young, and things like that. Now, all of a sudden, he's giving information on Oblock, and he told stories of being cool with E-Dog and all kind of shit like that. So, I find it crazy that he was cool with both of these sides. Now, he the guy that's giving information about the murder. And like I say, if he cool with Duck and he loved Duck like that and he wants justice for Duck, then what he did wasn't wrong. And I don't look at it like it was wrong. I'm not a street dude. I'm not in here to punish people because people didn't talk to the police or anything like that. That's not my job. I'm not really here to expose people or dirty people.
What I'm saying.
But his name is in the paperwork of one of the biggest cases of all time in the drug culture. So people gonna talk about that, especially when he was giving updates on this case. Think about this. Trenches News was giving fucking updates on this FBG Duck Oblock case, and the feds say he had paperwork.
That's what I'm saying. He had nothing to do with it.
Before anybody knew shit. And that's why I say Trenches News is really involved in this shit. Remember, I did a Kim phone interview. I told people that Trenches News used to be a saucer man back in the day. He was giving me information about this Duck Oblock case and all kind of shit before it even hit hard. I told this on the Kim Capone interview. And I find it crazy that now the feds are saying that he was the source of this. Trenches News hit me up and told me, Truth, I was never no source of yours. I don't know what the fuck you talking about. I was in jail. I don't know what the fuck you talking about. I even had to agree with him in the DM. Like, you know what? I might have made a mistake, even though I remember talking to you personally. We used to have these conversations personally. You used to call me and we talked several times.
They told he just lying
like
that.
A DM and act like I didn't know that happened. It was kind of strange, weird, and creepy to me, in my opinion. But I think Trenches News is a dope dude. I see him grind. Anybody that grind from 0 subscribers to get the way he got, he put a lot of hard work in this shit. So I don't knock him. But I done spoke to a lot of people from Newtown, where he be at, where he was from. And they speak on stories about Trenches News being very shiesty. Being one of them dudes that was on some street shit. Don't get it wrong. And people told me he used to be in Oblock and he was around a lot of this shit. He actually taught people a lot of shit, because he was an older member. That's what I was told. So I don't think Trench is lying about these stories of being in the hood. I think he might have gassed them up a little bit, put an extra little sauce on them and shit like that. But he was around. But according to people I done spoke with, they told me Trenches News had nothing to do with this case. He volunteered that information and made some money off that shit.
Oh, yeah, that's okay. That's why I ain't catch it at first. Like, I got the volunteer part, but I get why he keeps saying he ain't have nothing to do with the case now. Because people thought he was connected with it. That's what he's trying to say. Yeah, I'm kind of slow, but my fault.
So, when you look in the paperwork, it actually says the feds want Trenches News to testify. They want him to get on the stand and say, point and tell people exactly how the games went. They want Trenches News to come in and say the same shit he said in that paperwork. What he said in that paperwork corroborates a Rico case, to be honest with you. What he said didn't really corroborate who killed Duck, who was one of the people who was behind Duck murder. It didn't really do that. But what he did corroborate a Rico case structure. The Oblock gang, paying dues, who the leader, who picking up that money, niggas getting beat up for this shit, how did some of the infiltration work, who got the guns, who selling guns, and Trenches News gave information that helped corroborate those statements, in my opinion. So is he gonna testify? Me personally, I don't think half of the people that's in that paperwork is gonna testify. I don't think half of those people in that paperwork gonna even show up to court. That's how that shit be. When it's time for court day, it be hard to find a motherfucker, man. So I'm not sure if the state case is as clear cut as they put it, because a lot of the information they got is secondhand information that they gonna need somebody to stand on the stand, say that information out their mouth, and point. And I'm not sure if they're gonna find too many people.
That's what I'm saying.
And I don't think Trench's News is gonna do that. But when he was paid, it seemed like they're gonna force him. See, that's the thing about being paid. When the feds gave you money, you took it and you spent it. That was pretty much a contract to go stand on that stand and testify against Doug. So I'm under the impression that Trench's News is gonna be at that court date.
Bro, you just said he was gonna show up though. But I get what you said.
And he is going to testify his information that he told the feds, because they're going to press him to do that. He was paid for that fucking information, which means I believe, you know, he's going to have to testify the information. But knowing Trench's News, I don't think he's going to show up. You know? I don't think he thought that shit was going to come out like that. I think the feds played Trench's News.
But I thought you was forced.
That paperwork, not realizing that
I thought you get forced to do it, bro.
You know, but like I say, I want y'all to leave a comment. Let me know what y'all think about this whole Trench's News shit.
Man, y'all let me know, man. Y'all think he's gonna tell?
I mean, let me know what y'all think
get on the stand
about this whole Trench's News shit. Do you think he gonna testify?
That's what I'm saying.
Do you really think Trench's News is gonna get on the stand and point people out? Do you think Trench's News is really gonna do that? I want to know what y'all think. Leave a comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel. And another thing I want to know, do you think Trench's News is bogus for this? Is he bogus for being in that paperwork? Or do you salute him for standing up saying, hey, ain't nobody else going to do shit and say shit, so I'm going to say something?
But,
I want to know what y'all
think. If he trying to act like he's like he's not doing it, like he's not the paperwork and stuff, then I don't salute that. But if he's like proud of that shit or whatever, like, yep, I did it, yep, whatever, you know, just like owning it, and I somewhat salute that, cause like, yeah, he's standing on it, you feel me? Nigga just say, oh, you a snitch, whatever, but hey, he's standing on it, you feel me?
I think leave a comment, because my mind's a little twisted behind this. I see people calling Trench's News a rat, snitch, ratatouille, and I don't think that's what it is in my book.
That was crazy.
I believe, you know, he knew information. Allegedly, if this is true, because his name is in the paperwork. And sometimes the feds will be lying on people. Just because the feds put your name in the paperwork don't mean that you really said that. But,
no way,
you know, that black and white is stamped in the community.
That's what I'm saying. That's why you can't lie in paperwork, I thought.
Stamp. But what I'm going to say is, you know, I want to know from y'all, do you think Trench's News
is man, y'all boy tell me what y'all think about that in the comments, man. Hit the like button, hit the sub button, man. I'm out, man. No cap.